All right, welcome back. 2025 Event 3, WNXL action and now NXL action. We are here in Fairfield, Ohio. I am Matt Falby. You're stuck with me for one last match. You are fortunate to have Bella in the tower with me.
Again, you got me again.
We're lucky to have you again.
How did you do that?
They're actively looking for my replacement. Let's be really honest.
They are. Listen, I'm 2 for 2 today, so
dial it back. Don't do too good on broadcast. It's getting risky for me. All right, Underground on your left, Louisville Asylum on your right. This is D2 X-Ball. So we're going to have 15-minute points for them, and I believe we're still at a 5-point mercy. All right, Underground will be on your left in the white jerseys. Nice choice in this heat. Louisville Asylum.
Yes, white was a good choice.
Yeah. Underground crossing the 50 immediately into their brick.
Amazing first push by Underground, and Asylum still having 5 bodies alive, which is, amazing off of that big push. See if they can identify that body, the 2 bodies up the center.
So I wouldn't mind seeing this Underground player switch in their brick, switch off to the snake side, see if he can catch the movement into the snake Dorito.
I definitely feel like the shots are better on the snake from that Dorito, because the one in the more forward Dorito. Brick. Sorry, it's been hot today. Definitely the guy in the back, number 54, has some better shots to kind of bait that move to the 50 wedge. But yeah, I do. So there's a little switcheroo, a little back and forth.
There's another opportunity that front player could drop and crawl maybe to their wedge, do a bunch of damage. A little risky.
As we say risky. That, though, the Asylum player did just move up into that snake wedge.
Oh, okay.
So
then.
For us, that would be great and fun.
I just want players to die. I'm a nihilist. I want to see chaos and death. All right. What we're not getting is death, though. 5-on-5 is still alive at this point. A couple minutes into the point. Underground can under a lot of pressure. I think maybe the solution is dive out of there into the snake. They have no snake presence at all for Underground. They dedicated resources up the middle, which is great, but they kind of gave up on a snake push. And now there's a drop back.
I think he was surprised by his own teammate there.
He was very surprised. So now they're doubled up. I think maybe he's expecting a bunkering. If so, that's a nice drop back.
I think he did hear the Asylum player up in that wedge, so he decided to go back with his friend.
Mm-hmm.
But now he does have some good shots on the Doritos as well.
So, you know what? Here's the play right now. Is it D1 for Underground should stay right, and maybe one of the brick players should do the pod trick at the other team's middle brick. That might bait one of the Asylum players into attempting an empty bunker.
I have seen the pod trick work a good amount of times.
Seen it a couple times this weekend.
Underground does make a push into that snake one.
Now he's going to refill that brick for the other team. Underground really moving back and forth. It's still amazing, no kills. We're 5 alive for both teams. 2.5 in. Now up to snake 2 for Underground.
Asylum's wedge is just kind of looking around, looking for the bodies, trying to identify, seemingly unaware of this Underground player in the brick. Had a little exchange, but not enough.
All right, good communication here in the snake for Underground. He's talking with his mini temple and his Dorito. I think we're going to see him move up to the snake Dorito. He's double checking through that gap. Now he's going to make his crawl. So Underground into the snake Dorito. That is Stephen Davies. All right, we've definitely hit that lull period. Again, it's amazing to me. We're now at almost the 11-minute mark and not a single kill.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so intrigued. I haven't been talking. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for, just that one body to, break it open for these teams. As I said, that Underground does move into the snake 50, or their snake 50 wedge.
Yep. Davies going to cross the 50 into the Dorito 3. There's the first kill of the game.
Awesome job by number 72.
Wow, now the dams are broken
open.
over. We must have missed some body drops. I've been saying there's no deaths. We've had to have missed it.
We had to miss it, so I'm sorry. Yeah. We do have a wall of paint boxes that is keeping the sun off of us, and it does block out the right side of our pits. And so, yes, but great job. Even in that hold, Underground was 5 alive there.
There's the handshake. Yeah, that might be Jen Falk walking off there.
That is the one and only Jen Falk.
And then we got Chaz Folk walking off also. All right. So taking the field now, we have New York Wrecking Crew versus Shock. Shock on your left, Wrecking Crew on your right. Oh, and a timeout called. I'm going to say that was Shock that took the timeout. It's just a guess. It looked like they have 3 bodies on the box. I was having this conversation, I think, with Tess just the last game. I've really been, I guess, disappointed how many organizational failures I've seen this weekend, and that sounds grandiose. What I really mean is how many teams have been late to the box, even started games with 4 because they couldn't get bodies there, or even getting there and tagging up at the last second, which, makes a mess of your breakout.
Yep. It's
been happening a lot this weekend, from day 1. And this is event 3. It's not like it's the first event of the year where teams are trying to figure it out.
Yes. I mean, it's, sometimes it could be hard, especially even in this heat. You're trying to cool your players down. There's, a lot of people in your pits. You don't have that much room in your pits. You got a lot of people helping you, a lot of people in the way. You need pods. You're trying to rotate paint. You need your guns. You need to get cleaned off. There's a lot you got to do. And then you're also, trying to listen to your coach, and they're trying to call 5 bodies and, figure out what to do based off of what just happened. So it is a lot. It's not just, the stuff on the field. It is the stuff in the pit as well.
Yep. All right, here we go. Crew on your left, Shock on your right, 15 minutes on the clock. This is determined third and fourth overall for semi-pro.
Wrecking Crew does make a good move into the snake. Shock is still held up
running ref, not good.
Oh, no.
And a minor.
And a minor for Shock.
You know what? That Shock home player tried to bail out of there, knowing that a flag was coming. It doesn't matter. The ref's
He tried to run away from it.
Yeah.
Don't matter. You can't run away from the flag.
No, another Shock player peeling off. That leaves, I believe, the mini temple and the snake, too, for Shock. We're at least 4 alive, 5 alive here for Crew. This is overwhelming for them. No, first body dropping for Crew, losing their snake player.
I said that Shock does just lose. Well, they lost that.
Yeah, they lost it
that
all.
Match. Yep,
they
lost
everything.
It all. Everything. No, we can't say that. I did see them make some crazy move into the other team side of the field. It was so fast that I was like, wow. What speed. I was mesmerized. It was a great move on one of their earlier matches.
The tells for me that somebody's playing at essentially a pro or semi-pro level. These players can do it all. They literally, at this level, these players can play defensively. They can play aggressively. They know, and their shots are amazing. Like, just the snapshot kills just are off the charts for a lot of these players. They can be aware of the clock. I mean, they're no longer one profile players. They can do pretty much everything. I believe we have a Matt Davies sighting heading onto the field. Is that we might have Matt the gym rat heading out? For Underground, Matt Davies. All right, here we go. Asylum attempts to take the snake, does not work.
Underground still with 5 bodies on your right-hand side. Asylum player looking to make the bite into the snake. And he gets in there clean, which is a big move for Asylum, speaking that, they did just drop their body. They want the presence, but as we say that, he is getting pulled and a minor. I keep doing that.
You 100% commentate, curse that one right into a minor flag.
I'm just not even going to talk anymore, Matt. I give up. I'm sorry, guys.
And that Asylum player staring up at you, Bella. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no. Should I hide my face? Underground making a good move up the center. Going to go bunker out this center player.
That is a clean bunker.
Clean bunker. Mini Temple not aware.
And that's enough.
Unfortunate for Asylum. Great play by Underground to really capitalize on the body. They knew exactly where the body was.
That was Davies.
Great move.
All right, thank you to all our sponsors. Once again, these sponsors managed to bring this webcast to you for free of charge, allowing you to watch from home wherever you are in the country or world. So if you can, try to support these sponsors. They're the ones that make this possible. All right, Shock versus Wrecking Crew. Wrecking Crew up by 1 point. Still tons and tons of time on the clock. 14 minutes, 13 seconds. Shock needs to hurry up and tag up. See two gunners at home for Shock.
Yep, nice bite into the snake for Wrecking Crew. I do see one body coming off for Shock. Can getting a check, but he is clean.
Still doubled up at home. It's very clear this Shock player wants into the snake. He's going to go for it. He takes it.
As he takes that, I do see Wrecking Crew's center player crawling up into this 50 wedge here. Gets set up on that snake.
Now moving up to the inside wedge. Big bite into the Dorito. No, big failure of a bite into the Dorito too for Shock player. All right, now I commentate.
No, you did
Yeah,
it.
that's on me.
It's not just me. Shock making their way up into this little mini, or not mini, but Dorito, snake Dorito.
All right, he's flanked by number 11, Thomas Taylor. Sorry, 77, Thomas Taylor, working that inside wedge with him. Taylor trying to play over the top just a little too much. He's going to take a walk. He's going to be joined by a teammate from the mini temple. Stanzel, too much for him too, and that's going to be it. Shock's off the field. Wrecking Crew. Wrecking Crew doesn't believe it yet, though. They're still putting paint on every bunker they can.
Kind of just shooting at nothing right now.
You know what? To be fair, this is your last game. You're not taking any of this paint home. So
no, shoot it all.
Yeah, you might as well use it.
Refs, shoot everything.
All right, Crew's going to go up 2-0 over Shock. We're going to go back to the underground Louisville Asylum game. Good for Louisville Asylum, a local team just across the river. Coming up here, making it all the way to the finals. If we had the budget, we'd do a camera shot of a living room somewhere in Louisville with a bunch of supporters. We're not prepared to do that.
We're not prepared. Maybe by a cup.
Yeah, maybe we can pull that off.
All right, so Louisville Asylum's going to be on your right and Underground on your left. I'm hoping to see Louisville Asylum, really capitalize and learn kind of what Underground is doing to them and come back with, a counter punch for their sake. With 10 minutes left on the clock, down by 2. It's a lot of paintball time to be made up.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Plenty of time. Underground is a little bit too early to go in any kind of clock kill mode. Let's see, 2 guns for Underground. Their mini temple's going to take a shot. He's off. So 4 bodies left alive. I think we're going to see a move up the middle from home for Underground. They're still doubled up at home. First player walking off, that's number 7 for Louisville Asylum. So 4-4. Home dumps out of there,
yep.
Dives into mini wall.
Right as you said that, right as he made that move, the Asylum player did get shot out of the home, unfortunately.
All right, 4-3 advantage in favor of Underground. Underground already up 2-0. Again, a little bit early to go to clock kill, but at least they don't have to make any kind of manic rush here.
No, but knowing them, they want the points.
Sure. I mean, there's no further in the tournament to go, so you don't have to worry about trying to get a point differential for a tiebreaker. It's literally just win the whole thing, but I agree with you.
Bragging rights.
Yeah, human nature, especially paintball players, is to attack. I'm with you. Underground with a nice move. I think that's Jen Falk up into her natural habitat, which is the Doritos. Legends say that she was born in the Doritos. She will one day die there.
She might have been. That might be true.
Underground up to the Snake 2 now.
Asylum did just lose their Snake Camp player.
That is a look of defeat on that Asylum player walking off.
It's an unfortunate death.
Yeah,
this is a very polite get out.
That you're right, very polite.
Get out, buddy.
Hey there, pal. Would you think about leaving the field? That'd be nice of you.
definitely one of the nicer ones I've heard.
Howdy, neighbor. How do you feel about go ahead and walking off the field for me?
Yeah, that was Davies. Davies is a nice guy.
Yeah, very nice.
Very polite guy.
Sure as heck would appreciate you there.
Yeah.
Going ahead and heading off for me. All right, we're going to see Wrecking Crew versus Shock. Wrecking Crew up by 2 points. There is, again, just an enormous amount of time on the clock. Almost 13 minutes. I think we're more likely to see, I think we could see a really long point here. I could see about a 3 or 4 minute point here. Shock can't afford to lose another one. It would put them in too deep a hole.
Yep.
Wrecking Crew doesn't have a need to be overly aggressive.
I'd say that Shock does make a clean. I'm sorry, I was just waiting to see if they checked. Make a clean run into the snake.
Never apologize. All right.
I paused.
5 alive for Wrecking Crew. Now he's going to crawl. And yes, I said crawl into snake 1. That's unusual.
We do have a ref running for Shock to check the Dorito tower as he does get pulled out with no penalty, which is shocking because that ref was calling him as he bumped from the home.
Ian Rolfson of Crew also crawled up to that brick in the middle. Wrecking Crew switching to their crawl offense, apparently.
Crawl offense. It's hot.
I don't want to get any closer to the ground when it's this hot.
No, but, the grass is definitely cooler.
Aiden Chaseman working this S2. Looking to make his bump. He's going to... Yep, there it is. Looks around the edge, sees nothing waiting for him, makes his bump. That was kind of an ugly run into the can for Shock, but he's alive. It still counts. Still doubled up at home for Wrecking Crew. I don't want to be there doubled up. Get out of there.
I would not, but, after kind of 2 points, you feel, the guns you're going against. And if you have 2 points of no pressure at the home, then, why not stay there and, hold that lane?
True. All right, Wrecking Crew now up into the D2.
Shock snake player coming over the top, trying to identify the bodies. I don't know if it's my headphones, but I don't hear that much communication from Shock going on.
No, it's pretty light out there. Aiden Cashman leaning way out of that snake Dorito, trying to catch a shot. He's going to pull back to reload.
Shock is trying to shoot this bounce shot here from the tower into that 50 brick.
All right, still 5 alive for Wrecking Crew. Home, snake side can, Dorito 2, middle brick, and snake Dorito. Aiden having good communication with his back line here for Wrecking Crew.
Are we in a 5-on-3, Matt?
Well, we are certainly 5 on Wrecking Crew. What do we have left for Shock? We have a snake 2 playing really tall. Snake 3.
Yep.
Home.
Home. And I know they did lose one body going out wide to the Dorito side. I'm not sure if there is a body in the Dorito corner. But there is no point for, Wrecking Crew to really push this.
No.
Shock definitely get a little bit more piecing it together urgency. But I know that they just don't want to make a mistake and drop another point.
Shock snake 2 player jumps over the beam. He's going to drop, crawl, try to get to the middle brick. Maybe launch an attack through the middle. I mean, he could trade.
Definitely in the position to do it as I see Wrecking Crew snake players looking down the wire.
He could trade with Ian. He wouldn't get much further than that if he tried to go through the middle. Of course, he has really no way of knowing that. Oh, Dorito's going to drop for Wrecking Crew. Okay, there's an opportunity.
Shock does make a good move out to the snake can and up into the snake 1.
So snake 3 gobbling up the attention from Wrecking Crew. Shock player under a lot of pressure. Here's the run through. Again, I expect a trade. No, it's clean. Oh, he's going to ask for a check just to be safe. I like it. He doesn't believe he's hit. I don't think he's hit either. He just doesn't want to get a penalty. Great stuff. D3 now hot for Shock. Shock throws away a body trying to go down the tape.
Great job to capitalize on, Shock's center player pushing up. That was great. Great teamwork there.
Yeah, that was a great late game push. Suddenly it was like they activated all cylinders and just started throwing bodies at the problem.
It's almost like they heard me.
Yeah, that's just like Bella to take all the credit for a team doing well.
You're welcome, Shock.
You are the worst.
I've been told that before. Don't worry.
All right. Good work, Shock. They're going to bring
Yes.
it back to a 1-2. You know what we saw? It was about a 4-minute point.
Yeah, you were right. It's almost like you've been doing this already. All weekend.
All weekend long. This is my community service. 60 more hours of it, and the judge says I don't have to do it anymore.
Wow, what did you do to deserve this?
I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Oh.
All right, Underground rolling back into the field with a 3-0 lead. In the driver's seat here, 8.5 on the clock. That's plenty of time for Asylum, but Asylum certainly can't be losing any more points. All right. Asylum looking for answers here. I got to say, and maybe reading body language is a little bit overrated, but boy, Asylum looked dejected walking off that last point.
Yes, they did look, very defeated, but, with 8 minutes left on the clock, it's really not done.
Nope. If they can come back with a point here, it'll be 1-3. That's a very manageable situation.
Mm-hmm. Big guns off the break for Asylum, trying to drop, and they did get the body off the break. Unfortunately, minor on Asylum.
They're going to pull a minor on that Smith. Asylum's can. So 3 bodies left alive for Asylum. This is not the start they needed to this point, although good penetration up the middle.
Is it 4-on-3 in favor of Underground?
However, positionally, Asylum's good positions here. They're Doritos now into the Dorito 2. Good pushing. Asylum's not acting like they're losing this point. We have an Underground player walking off. So 3-on-4, body advantage for Underground, but great positional advantage for Louisville Asylum. There was a quick consideration of dropping and crawling for number 23.
Yes.
He changed his mind.
He did change his mind very quickly.
Well,
and nope, he changed his mind again.
He is fickle. Let's see, this is a big move. This is one of those things that can break this game open real fast. Is he going to stop at the wedge, or are you going to keep going to their snake 2?
I have not seen him pop up yet. There he is.
Oh, there might be a counter bunker. S2 now hot for Underground. I still don't think they know.
Yep.
It's going to take a couple to the back of the head. Clear out your sinuses. I don't know how the human body works. All right, drop back by Asylum to the brick. Oh, creep up by Underground to their own wedge on the snake side. If this Asylum player in the brick switches back. Now there's a super close gun battle going on. Run through attempt. Followed by the immediate pointing at somebody else, pleading for a flag with your eyeballs. Another drop back by the Asylum player.
Big retreat, Brad.
Yeah, Canyon Taps just trying to look for anything to do here.
That ref is saying, I'm out of here.
You know what? If you're the Asylum coach, I think how you should have toweled. And they're still not toweling. Am I incorrect? Yeah, this is Division II X-Ball. It's a 5-point mercy rule. They can't concede that out. Obviously, they put themselves in a really tough situation with 4 points down.
They did have, a really. I loved the breakout. It was just an unfortunate minor. Like I said, these refs have been very generous with their flags. They're really giving them to anybody. You don't even have to ask. They'll just give it to you.
The Oprah program. You get a flag, and you get a flag, and you get a flag.
They have been handing them out.
Look under your bunker.
Yeah.
Flags for everybody.
But we have now back on the field, Wrecking Crew on your right and Shock on your left.
There's a lonely pod runner trying to get the hell off the field before.
Sometimes these pod runners are very fast.
Oof. They're all young.
They are young.
Spry.
Child labor.
It's free. Shock moving up the middle. I think he might have gotten hit.
Wrecking Crew losing a body off the snake side. But they did make a good push into the center of the field to try to contain Shock Snake.
5-4 body advantage for Shock. Shock number 77, that's Thomas Taylor, made it up the middle. I think he took a bounce, but he got checked out. He's clean. Now into snake one for Shock. Jetski makes the bump into the snake Dorito for Shock.
Shock player being called clean in the snake Dorito here.
So there's 7 minutes on the clock. Shock's back certainly not against the wall. They are down by 1 point. Even with a loss here, there should still be enough time.
Yes, paintball minutes are definitely different than real minutes.
There's like a whole conversion rate.
There is, yep. Time moves differently on the field for sure.
It's a metric standard thing. I don't understand it.
Wrecking Crew kind of understanding right now that they, you know, as I said, that they great kill out of that snake Dorito, but Shock is going to fill it.
Oh, and he's going to take one on the goggle, trying to back him up into the snake one from the can, down to 3 bodies for Shock. Now the movement by Wrecking Crew crossing the 50. He's going to lose that gunfight.
Unfortunate death for Wrecking Crew as Thomas Taylor's going to come try to fill out and back up his snake player. The Wrecking Crew kind of understanding, you know, what's happening right now. Need to not let Shock get this point back up.
Nest looking cross. Thomas Taylor giving him some instructions. Not so gently.
Not so gently. I feel like if you're on the field with Thomas Taylor and he tells you to do something, you kind of just, you do it.
Maybe throw in a salute quickly
yes.
before you... Yeah. All right, there's the move up to that for Nest, up to their wedge on the snake side. I think it's an attempt to D2. Makes it live. Thomas Taylor's all over the field. This is maybe the 6th or 7th bunker he's played.
Got to play them all.
Yeah.
They're all there, so.
Thomas looking cross. He picks up on snake one. Nest now going to switch to the inside. Look if he can pick up a free kill.
Wrecking Crew making a bump into the Dorito one,
and
as well as the snake two. Great kill from Wrecking Crew down the wire.
Yeah, Nest's going to take a walk. Thomas Taylor, I think he's all on his own here. Taylor trying to stop that Dorito push, and there's just too much coming in at him.
Little messy, but nicely cleaned up.
Thomas Taylor believes that he got a bonus ball. I think literally just the Dorito popped up shooting and didn't realize Thomas was already out.
I don't think he knew. Yeah, I think he
I would
scared.
respect one of the OGs of the sport a little more than that.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again to Alabama Paintball. If you're in that region, give them a chance. They've got 3 different fields, Central, Quest, and 280, all of which kind of specializing in a different aspect, from private groups to beginner groups to, you know, mixed and advanced play. All right, Louisville Asylum. Answers? I don't know what they are. You've got 6 minutes between you and a really uncomfortable ride home. The only good news is it's a short ride.
It is a short ride, but
yeah.
You know, to make it to Sunday, make it this far, and you know, in D2, you should definitely, you know, be proud of yourself.
In that moment when you lose, especially in the finals, it's really hard to find consolation in that. I fully agree with you, though. I would take it as a positive to make it this deep. All right. Underground on your left with everything to win. 4-0. Time running out. Big dive in. They pick up on it, though. Kind of a late dive. Unfortunately, they saw the Asylum legs flying through the air. That allowed the underground middle to just blow him up. I think we now have Jen Folk into the Dorito corner, the little mini brick.
Asylum does just make a bump into the snake to try to get out wide on underground.
Now out to the Dorito corner for Asylum.
Dorito corner is getting checked from Asylum. I believe he is, yep, he's gone. It looked like that ref was going to call him clean. But unfortunate to drop those 2 bodies when you really need this point.
Underground 5 alive. It's 4-0. They don't need to do anything other than kill time and apparently kill Asylum players. Another one walking out from the snake.
5-on-2, I believe, right now.
Yeah, it's bad. Real bad situation for Asylum. I think they only got a couple bodies left. Yeah, look at Underground. A lot of people on their knees. Nobody's really all that interested in moving forward, and why should they?
Nobody's shooting right now.
I could see number 72 for Underground taking the snake, but doesn't even need to. Push up the middle by Asylum into the brick.
Another push up into the snake Dorito for Asylum, now into the 50 wedge.
Yeah, they lose that middle brick for Asylum.
And he's
it's
in
that
a 5-on-1.
All right, miracle time. Yeah, they know he's there. Jen's going to go try to bunker him out. Is it a trade or Jen lives? Not that it really matters. Congratulations to Underground. Incredibly casual. Like, literally, they've just won. And they just seem kind of nonplussed by it.
It's hot.
Yeah,
it is hot.
That's fair. Look, they're trudging. I would describe it as trudging.
Trudging.
There's no victory dance here.
There is no victory dance.
There's some respect, though, from Jen Folk to Asylum. Handshakes. Again, for Asylum, well done. I know it doesn't feel like it in the moment, but congratulations getting to this point in the tournament.
Yeah, that was some great paintball.
Congratulations also to Underground. You've done it. Would you like to know the WNXL final?
Yeah.
Heroines win 3-1 over Femmes.
Nice. Congratulations to the Heroines. I did watch the beginning, the first point of that, and then I came over here.
Well, we appreciate your dedication to the craft. All right, 3:20 matchup over on the pro field. You can see New York Brave take on Newbies. And for our interest, if you've been following this broadcast, Jester's taking on BR Factory. All right, Shock looking for answers. They've got 5 minutes to at least come up with 2 points. They're now in X-ball. Nice dive and slide by Wrecking Crew. Reyes into that middle brick.
Shock's still 5 alive, but Shock's going to answer that with getting into their own 50 brick.
Parker into the S2 for Wrecking Crew. You'll likely see him wrap around, look to see if there's anybody waiting, which there kind of is.
He's got to just be a little careful as, nope, he just got right through it. But this 50 wedge is, sitting on him, waiting to bait him into the move. And Shock does make a good move into the snake, too.
Wrecking Crew counters by taking the D2. We're now approaching 4 minutes for Shock. This is must win for Shock.
Yes.
All right, for Shock, we've got S2. Looks like Mini Temple's now going to bounce out to the Dorito corner. We've got D2 and the brick in the middle. Snake Dorito for Shock, so 5 alive. 5 alive, both teams. Barker escaped with his life there. There's a chance. We're now approaching 3 minutes. We're at 3 minutes, 15 seconds, give or take.
Yeah, getting a little bit more, urgent for Shock.
That is immediate going for a flag. Barker has been hit. It's going to cost his buddy his life. That was an interesting, smart play. I think that might be Colton Dahl. Went from home into the snake as soon as he saw the flag go up. Give credit. That was a pretty clever play. He kind of used the refs as shields to slide by the confusion. Attempted run through.
Shock is going to come.
Oh, Reyes gets blown up in the back. Colton checking. I think he's hit. Rooney looking left, picking up on that Dorito. Ref there, that's it. Rooney's going to win this one. Congratulations. There you go, Shock. You've pulled yourself back into this one. There's going to be about 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Little tiny bit of bad news, though. You're now an X-ball. So you don't have much time to catch your breath.
In this heat.
That's brutal.
Oh, they should add an extra, 2 minutes onto the break time.
Misting stations? I'd settle for misting stations.
Misting stations would be a plus.
You know what makes your pod runners extra urgent to get their job done and get off the field? Most of them are not wearing shirts. And if the game breaks out and you're still on the field, it's going to be a brutal experience.
Thankfully, this tournament paint is nothing like field paint. Field paint hurts.
In terms of bouncy versus breaky?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would rather breaky than bouncy.
All right. Well, Shock has clawed themselves back into this game. It's now 2-3, 2.5 minutes on the clock. I'm going to say what I already said. Again, this is a must-win point for Shock. If they don't win this, there won't be much clock left to try to bring back a 2-point deficit. But they put themselves in it.
Yeah, in typical what we see in Shock fashion, they kind of, they wait, and they kind of all go at the same time. I say I need some urgency, and then they do it, and it's amazing up here.
I think that's what you have to do. Like I said, I've seen a bunch of pushes past the 50 on this layout just absolutely get eviscerated. I think you have to go up a couple bodies, and then you just have to meat wave down the field, throwing a lot of bodies at the same time. You can't do it piecemeal to try to finish this out.
Now, I don't want to question the refs, but I'm just...
Ooh, this will be good. Here we go. Refs, are you listening? Hold on, let me get their attention.
No, don't listen. Turn everything off. I don't know if the snake Dorito was deserving of a minor. I personally, from our paintball tower, Matt's paintball tower, did not see
trademarked
really any paint coming at him. And I hate to say that because I really did not see.
So here's my counter. Barker had flinched. A ref had checked him, didn't see something. I suspect that. And then about 10 seconds later, a ref found a hit on him and pulled him out. In those intervening 10 seconds, he was behind the bunker. I think he had a hit on him. That's my guess. No disparagement to Mr. Barker, but all right.
Wrecking crew kind of crawling through the open into the snake wedge. Shock taking their ground on the snake Dorito.
All right, 5 alive here for Shock. Doing a good job making their secondaries. Yeah, Shock doing a good job making the pushes. We're going to see a crawl here up to that middle brick. With no Snake 3 presence, that should be a safe crawl up to that middle brick.
That was a long crawl.
Long crawl.
He did just come up there.
Jetski supporting the push by Rojas. Rojas into this wedge over on the Snake side. Jetski now backing him up into the Snake Dorito. This is good for Shock. This is what they need, but they are at about 1:20. Can Wrecking Crew kill about 1:10 now?
As much as, I'd love to go 2 up on, if I was Wrecking Crew, I'd love to go 2 up on Shock. But at this point, I hear that 60 seconds. I kind of just lock in and dig into my bunker.
Oh, yeah.
And
if you're
hold off this triple threat in the snake.
Oh, Shock, that does not work for him. He's going to cross.
Shock is still, oh, nope, now there are 4 bodies alive.
Yeah, Rojas takes the walk. Although big move for Shock. They're into the other team's inside snake wedge.
Shock seems to be aware now.
Probe around. He's going to bunker out the snake. And that's it. I think Shock's going to pull this one off. It's really just the corner. 25 seconds left. It's hard to believe he's going to hold this off. Especially when there's a Shock player getting it out in the corner. That's it.
I thought he was the last body. I was going to say that was a trade, but was a good trade, but
not enough. Shock is going to tie this up with 15 seconds.
Yeah, that was awesome. Awesome play by Shock, to really come back. I loved the triple threat in the snake.
A lot of drama here. The last match of Sunday on the last day of the tournament. And this is going to go to a tie, I believe. They haven't awarded it yet. Okay, there it is. It's going to be a tie. There's going to be 15 seconds on the game clock, which is essentially an unplayable point. Mm-hmm. So realistically, we're going to go to overtime. Just what the refs were hoping for. More time out in the sun.
More time out in the sun on the final game here.
Congratulations. I'm sure you're making overtime pay.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm sure the league is giving you a little bump.
Little bit.
In your pay for being out there.
A little extra.
All right. Hey, thank you for being here.
Of course. Thank you, Matt, for being here. This is the final shift.
You've taken your last shift.
I feel like I'm on the graveyard shift.
Yeah, you kind of are. I don't know what to say to that.
No, I love your paintball tower. I love that it has some improvement. You finally put up some walls.
Yeah, we're doing a little interior decorating here. We want to make it feel homey and lived in.
It is comfortable.
Yeah,
it is cozy. Cozy and comfortable. But I love you finally have a paintball tower.
It's really nice. It gives us much better vision. So, okay, big story, doing webcasting other places and with the NXL. It's really unfair to Dorito players how little love they get in the sport. Because
you're talking to a Dorito player.
It's not
I
fair.
agree with you. I hear you.
So Dorito players do incredible stuff, and yet with the webcasting booths are always, whether they're on the ground or high, they're always over here on the snake side. Well, this field's kind of different. But generally speaking, they're always here on the snake side. So snake players get all the glory and all the attention. Yep. Dorito players, it's not entirely fair.
It is upsetting. I've definitely done some stuff on the Dorito side, and did not see it.
Yeah, we're not aware of it. I don't think you've ever killed anybody in your life, as far as I
know.
know.
No, I don't think so. Matt, you said my name a couple times yesterday.
Bella pulls the flag from the
ref and throws it at him.
All right, we had a hopper down situation for Crew. They got a replacement. They're rolling back out there.
They do. We are playing this 15-second point. Wrecking Crew is able to pull it off. I've seen him do it before. Shock is very fast as well.
There is an attempting run up by Crew.
Still some crazy speed.
No, I think he's going to get a flag. He's going to get a flag for his trouble. There it is. Ref can't even find his flag.
He can't even find it. He was so excited to throw it. 2 seconds, and we're going to go to overtime.
Okay, here's my concern. Look at that ref that threw the flag, that wanted to throw the flag. He couldn't find his flag. He's calling on his radio to the tower. I believe he was calling him to stop the point. If he's calling to stop the point, that means he intended to throw a major, which means it's a swing point. I'm conjecture here.
In Wrecking Crew's sake, I would truly hope not.
There's no ref. There's a little ref conference going on over there.
There's a little bit of some Thomas Taylor drama. He was pointing out Wrecking Crew's pits. Yeah, Thomas Taylor is arguing for that major.
So that is what the refs are discussing on the far sideline right now. If that's the case, Shock is going to win this tournament. To win this match, certainly. That is the discussion. So New York Wrecking Crew took a gamble, threw a body through the middle, dove into their snake beam, was trying to crawl up. They saw something that they believe was warranted of at least a minor, perhaps a major. Honestly, the refs are struggling to find their flags, which does happen. So in the booth, we're not sure whether they intended to throw a minor or a major. Of course, Thomas Taylor wants it to be a major, but did you see a flag?
I did not see a flag. I saw some of this
pumping.
I saw some pumping. But I also don't know if, Wrecking Crew did drop a body on that point or if it's just more the forward progression. But if it's just the forward progression, then that would classify as a minor. So
what makes me concerned that it's a major or concerned or possible major is I saw a ref going for his radio trying to call to the scoreboard. And the only reason you would do that
is if it was a major because it's under 60 seconds.
So I think the ref with the radio thought it was a major. Now, he could be wrong. I don't know. But this whole thing could hinge right now on whether that's a major or a minor.
We are on our toes here.
And you know what the refs get? More time on the field.
More time on the field.
Ooh. There is going to be an initiation ceremony after this tournament's over. Apparently there is a new ref that has joined this crew, and the other refs have over the weekend accumulated a lot of excess paint to dump on him. So keep your eyes open because one of the refs is going to get a paint shower when this thing is over. Yeah, they're.
Do we know who it is yet?
I don't actually.
I could find out. I could definitely find out.
Let's stick around for the fireworks. It's going to happen.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. So I hope for, Wrecking Crew's sake that it was just a minor. But I know in Shock's sake, they hope it was a major.
Yeah. So this is a long discussion. I expect a long discussion. Oh, I do not like seeing that in the background. There's an ambulance rolling in, and I'm going to guess that means somebody's having a heat-related issue out here.
Hoping that, everybody is okay.
Yeah.
And a fire truck, so maybe not.
Oh, you're hoping it's a fire?
I hope.
Jeez. Bella.
I didn't say that.
Wow.
But I hope that nobody is hurt.
Bella's out here rooting for a med flight.
Yes.
Like, maybe
Where's the
someone's-
helicopter? Is it next?
Yeah, refs are going to make this a long discussion. Wrecking Crew coach looking concerned. He's doing the beard stroke.
I think we should petition for having a ref radio up here so we can kind of
Yeah, that's
sneak
certainly
in
true.
and listen.
So respectfully, though, these refs have been doing a good job informing us of situation, which they don't need to. The refs have no business in telling us in the webcast business what's going on, but they've been very helpful to us, trying to help us understand. Mikhail, head ref of this field, is having a conversation with both coaches right now. See if you can listen in.
No point.
No point. It's
Yes.
going to overtime.
Yes.
So what did we hear of that conversation? Anything besides no point?
All I heard was no point, and everyone said thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
And kept it moving. Yeah.
Really polite.
They were very polite down there from what I could hear.
Maybe they're just too hot to argue anymore.
Probably. They've given up on arguing. Listen, it's hard to please, both sides, especially when one side is losing.
Oh, it's impossible to please both sides.
Yeah.
Competitive paintball? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So one of my entertainment factors for every time I do this is we are parked here really close to where these kind of conversations go on between the head ref and the coaches, and I love listening to some of the arguments the coaches have. Some of them are so off base and so ludicrous. I just start laughing.
Yes.
I'm like, are you really making that argument? I mean,
That's what we call gaslighters, Matt.
Yeah, you're right. That's
they are
exactly
in the
what it
world and they are real.
Oh,
I know. I was down here with Bob before, and so I saw a lot of confrontation there, and they had this net thing to hold people back.
Hold them at bay?
Hold them at bay, but there was no siding to it. There was no nothing. It was just a little propped up net. And I was like, oh, yeah, that'll do it. Keep them back. But,
all right.
Yep.
We're going to go to overtime.
Yeah, overtime. Unfortunate for Team Ref. We're going to go to overtime. Unfortunate for Shock. I'm
Ref.
sure Wrecking Crew's happy about that, as they were on the fence of possibly getting fourth.
All right. Wrecking Crew rolling out to your left. I see Colton Dahl at least. I see a Sloffer. For Shock, do we see a Thomas Taylor, number 77 on the field? Not yet. Wait, is there only 3 bodies out there for Shock? No, there's another one coming. Is there what? Okay, really late in, but he's getting on. Okay, that is Thomas Taylor, I think, taking the field. I could be wrong.
Fashionably late appearance.
Is it? No. Is it? I can't tell. These old eyes. I'm just a couple weeks away from getting a dog to guide me around. Ooh, Wrecking Crew into the snake. Clean.
Shock as well.
5 alive.
Shock does lose their snake hand body, though, unfortunately.
5
but they are in the snake, and they are getting a check in that snake. Hopefully for them, they will be clean.
Reyes to this inside wedge. Still doubled up at home for Crew. I believe this is Barker in the snake, too. He's got all the information. He's like reading them the phone book of information on what's going on out here. All right, Crew has escaped the double up at home. They're going to lose Reyes at that inside wedge, though. So 4 on 4. Bounce out to the Dorito corner by Crew. Barker now up into the snake Dorito. Dorito 1 being taken for the Crew. For Shock, we have Dorito corner. We have Can. Looks like we have Snake 3.
Snake Can playing super low, trying to wait on the bait on the Snake player on the Wrecking Crew side.
Barker not taking a ton of fire. I think he has an opportunity to wrap here. Maybe disrupt that Can and then make his bump into this wedge. Although it's overtime, it's probably going to take a little less risks.
Wrecking Crew losing their body out of the home and an unfortunate death. But as that happens, Shock also does lose their snake player.
All right, for Shock, I think we might just be Can and Dorito 1. Yeah, I think Shock is just down to 2 bodies. For Wrecking Crew, they've got D2, Snake Dorito, and Can. Can's going to take one off the head, though.
Coming down to a 2-on-2.
Great movement by Crew over in that Dorito side. Now for the wedge, takes the Can. 2-on-1. Dorito, I do not want to be in this D1 trying to fill off a 2-on-1. Barker. All right, that's it. Crew's going to win in overtime.
Celebratory pod toss.
These players are so tired. I mean, to be fair, for Wrecking Crew, they probably shouldn't celebrate until it's a clean hang, but Jason, the head ref, silently swooping in on this one. I think he's going to check him himself. No, it calls him clean. That's it. Congratulations to Wrecking Crew.
Awesome paintball. Awesome paintball by Shock as well.
Yeah, taking that to overtime was a bit of a miracle play for them.
Yes.
Congratulations.
That was really great to watch. Really awesome paintball. These top teams going together.
All right, well, congratulations to Wrecking Crew. You pulled it off. Congratulations to Underground also pulling it off. We've managed to pull off a webcast for an entire weekend. Thanks to you, Bella.
We have managed, Matt.
Closing shift.
Oh, yes, graveyard shift.
Check with your manager before you get signed out, and you can punch out.
I will. No, I appreciate you having me. Always a blast.
And, hey, thank you so much to everybody at home that stuck with us for the whole weekend, watched a lot of great paintball. We appreciate your support. We try to do what we can to help the league, and you can do what you can to help support the webcast by being here for us. It has been wonderful. I always want to say the same thing. Thank you to the ref staff. It was brutal reffing conditions for the weekend. I think they did a great job.
Yes, awesome. As a player, I can also say thank you to the refs.
Yeah. I also want to say thank you to our production crew, Francis in the truck, running the switchboard all weekend, Bob Howe, roaming. Thank you to him.
Lurking.
Yeah, doing the work. So thank you so much for being with us. We're going to head out of here. You're going to see us back at the World Cup for the next webcast. Thank you so much. Take care.